Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Dice Stormers. We are the Dice Stormers. This is the adventure Voz Rozdenia, or is it Was Rozdenia? Didn't we had that debate a couple of times ago whether we were saying the word right. It means Rebirth Island. Although we didn't really spend too much time on Rebirth Island, we've ended up being somewhere else. And of course, I want to cut to the chase because we ended on a bit of a cliffhanger. No cliffs involved. There were tentacles wrapped around our submersible.
That's right.
So. Yeah. So the intrepid adventurers began the last episode underwater in their fabulous submersible vehicle, which I'll bring back up. They're underwater. There you go. And they were in their glorious Triton AVA 660.
Sorry, is there Syrinscape going?
I will start it.
Oh, yes, we're underwater. And this, of course, is brought to you by Quest Portal, which I'm about to display with the image of our submersible. We are underwater.
There you go.
Fabulous. And basically, the adventurers began seeing a light ahead of them, not realizing that was Aaron Lincoln in another submersible ahead of them. They fired a harpoon at it, which hit, and then they had a very disturbing message from Aaron telling them about the malignant spheres were all around him, and then they kind of got told that they knew how to defeat whatever it was. Shenanigans ensued, and eventually they did indeed release some formaldehyde into the pure dead waters of Lake Baikal, and that seemed to have an effect. And they thought that they were ascending to safety when, at the very end, two tentacles from Yog Sothoth wrapped themselves around their vessel. And
we have like 16 more barrels of formaldehyde in here.
You got
is that right?
8 more barrels of formaldehyde.
Oh, we got more. I thought.
But you know, 10 barrels in total. However, you only have one harpoon.
All right. I'm gonna load some more barrels. I think we should use the harpoon to just puncture them and then send them out without shooting the harpoon.
We could. Yes, we could stab it with the arm. The arm could hold on to the harpoon and just stab it. Yeah, that sounds a good idea.
Oh, so
definitely work.
You're going to use the medical arm to grab the formaldehyde, move it around to the harpoon, and just stick it.
Yes,
and then send
that sounds like a good idea.
Oh, that's going to require. I know it's a Murray game, but that's going to require some mighty
dice
dice rolling.
Won't succeed then.
A less complex thing is we just grab we use one of those robotic arms to grab the formaldehyde canister and then just crush it.
Oh.
How big are these?
Are they strong enough
barrels
to do that kind of thing?
Yeah,
they're pretty pincery. Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, cool. Okay, I pictured
they
were these feeble things like they usually have on subs. Yeah, cool.
No,
not on the Triton AVA 660.
No. Billionaires require very strong hands.
If you'd chosen the Baccarat model for playing Baccarat underwater, yes, then it would be feeble. But you've chosen the science model. Yes. All right, Billy's struggling there, and he seems to be losing the fight because these tentacles are beginning to wrap around and pull back down, and you can see the counter heading back down towards the I'll call it the ceiling, but it's the opposite. It's the floor of 200 meters operable depth. Right. Okay, then. You're going to load in some formaldehyde?
Yeah.
Okay. These whispers are now back, angry whispering, and it's like they're hammering at your heads to try and get in. And because you already know them from your previous experiences, they're all coming at you, kind of rolling over you like waves. And if you can imagine that the lovely, clear, still waters of Lake Baikal are in fact turbulent, but there's nothing in the water, so you can't see any turbulence. But in fact, they're roiling all around your vessel and looking for a weakness in the outer shell. Luckily, your Triton is incredibly well built, and
you can feel it sort of buffeting the submersible, right?
So there is, but it's very hard to tell if that's actually the tentacles that are pulling you, and you can see these sort of octopus squid-like suckers on these tentacles, and they've got teeth in them, and give me spot hidden rolls. Yeah, absolutely, give me spot hidden rolls. You can't not see these tentacles. better clear that. Hang on.
I have a 50% chance of not seeing these tentacles, and I failed.
Okay, failed. Come on.
Garrett got it.
Come on, Garrett. Oh, sorry, I must have cleared it at the wrong moment.
Yeah,
Garrett, you can see that these mouths on the suckers are in fact mouthing what you yourself have just been whispering. So you can see these mouths, and you're like mouthing in sign to them. So I'll
take a moment to just be completely distracted by that and just mouth alongside the tentacles for a short time until I pull myself out of it.
He knows where they had trod Earth's fields, and where they still tread them, and why no one can behold them as they tread. Oh, yes. Give me...
Ditto.
Nice. Give me an intelligence roll to break out of it. Just because you can. Or you might not.
Can I use psychology to maybe give him an advantage on that?
Extreme success.
Yeah, you are... It's almost... like you are playing with this elder god, and that's dangerous stuff. So when you turn away, having not been seduced by these mouthing, gibbering tentacle suckers, it's like they get angry. Yes, but you absolutely do that. So you load your formaldehyde in. It's the barrels of formaldehyde are loaded, and you're gonna pop them out.
Yeah.
Plan.
Okay.
Who's on the arm? Garrett, are you on the...
Me,
I
believe,
loading.
yes.
I think I'm... Yeah.
Bruce, you're on the arm, are you, Bruce?
Yes.
Soldier work for the soldier.
Bruce is on the arm.
All right, they're loaded nicely. Are you doing one at a time or two at a time like last time?
Two at a time.
Two at a time?
I don't know.
So essentially one will come out, you'll need to grab it and pop it. The other one will come out, you need to grab it and pop it. You'll need to do...
Yeah.
One of them.
Excellent.
Okay, here we go. So the first one's out. The first one's released. You can see it floating out. You're going to need...
Can we aim it towards the tentacles just near the ship first and sort of create a pool of aldehyde around us to stop the tentacles from climbing on us, and then send the rest down towards the creature?
Oh, are you giving those instructions to Geoffrey?
Yes.
In that case, Geoffrey, you're going to need... What's that going to be? Some kind of drive. Drive order doesn't really work.
I mean, if we send it towards where our jet's propulsion is pushing, the liquid, the water, then that will actually just spread the formaldehyde out around us, won't it?
I'm going to give you, Geoffrey Bruce, just because I'm looking at your skills, because I can do that, your stats. I'm going to make this a tactical planning roll, because you put so many points into tactical planning, and you haven't actually yet made a tactical planning roll.
Excellent.
Make a tactical planning. You do succeed. Yeah, so you absolutely maneuver it. Now I'll need you to give me an unarmed brawl. Unarmed brawl, I suppose it is an unarmed brawl. Well, it kind of is. It's kind of like he's now like a mech with his fists. Absolutely. And again, there's this hissing scream in your heads, and the one of the tentacles sort of winces away in pain.
I really want to quote Ripley from Aliens, but I feel like we get censored to do that. Get away from.
Yeah, nice. Are you gendering Yog Sothoth? Okay. Yes, you begin to notice. So there's the next. So you guys are basically becoming like a chain. Billy's trying to keep the place stable and get up if they can get away. You guys are both loading formaldehyde into the release tubes, and you are crushing formaldehyde barrels, Geoffrey. You note that around the tentacles are individual globes, and you can see that as they approach the vessel, they are black with a malignant evil that's the same color. Here's a warning, everyone. It's a warning of, I'm going to show you what anthrax ulcer looks like.
We saw it. Excellent. Move on.
Get back.
No, I'm going to dwell on it. They're that color. They're that black. and that kind of evil. But then as they approach and they hit the water that's been contaminated with the formaldehyde, they essentially become clear, and then all of their malignant intent to try and get to you inside the submersible is literally dissolved until they seemingly pop, just like a children's bubble that's been blown in a playground.
I thought you were going to say like a cyst.
I'm not going to look at bubbles in playgrounds ever the same again now. Look, little floating cysts, everybody.
Floating cysts.
Okay. All right. So now I'm not going to make you roll every barrel.
What are you talking about?
Although
This is you,
it is a Murray game.
Every
All
single
right.
barrel.
Make 7 more attacks. Geoffrey, roll me.
Sorry, could we do one other thing? If there's a bunch of sort of, I don't know, formaldehyde infected water in front of us, could the pilot kind of swivel the thing around and use the jets to like?
Ooh.
Isn't that what we were doing? Was we were crushing it and then putting it towards the
We're putting it towards the jet
so that it would push the.
But now he's asking to swivel to turn, because you've got 360 vision, essentially, so that you are doing that towards this.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah.
Brilliant. You didn't even need tactical planning as a skill to make that, Sylvia. Come on. You could plant that idea in Geoffrey Bruce's head. Okay, so that's
I'm not steering though, am I?
No, that is Billy. Billy. Here we go.
Does Billy need to?
I made like 5 out of 7 of the brawl attempts.
Cool. You rolled them all. Yeah, absolutely.
I did.
And here it is. Where are we? Pilot. Here he
I got it.
is.
You want me to roll it?
Oh, I can. Sorry,
It's his character.
Success.
So hang on, it's a Murray game where you roll too many dice and you're asking to roll more dice. See, I don't think John's take on Murray games is as negative as anyone else. Like, I want to roll more dice. I'm like, yeah, exactly right. Okay.
And Murray's leveling up this character too as we go through it. I'm sure of it.
As I've said many times before, every game is a Maelstrom game. So. Yeah, but I hope you guys have been keeping track of all the successes and all the skills you've been using, because you guys can. If you survive, you'll be uber powerful. Sure enough, you spin. You know the suckers are giving up. They're angry. They're whispering these phrases at you, and you're resisting because you're so focused on saving humanity. You turn the propulsion jets and you blow a blast of formaldehyde. Directly at this creature, and this scream is deafening, and it's like every word in the universe in one moment inside your head. So you're all going to be making sanity checks for me, but this essentially seems to blow a hole in this globes, and they, not all of them, but certainly some of them are. Oh, look at that, sanity 8. Sylvia's not doing so well. And where's Geoffrey's sanity? Where are we?
Getting there, sorry.
Good.
Success. Hard success.
Oh, no. Billy and Sylvia are lost again in...
Sylvia, where we need Johnny to suddenly jump on the call. He just comes up with his submarine from the depths with formaldehyde cannons.
Yeah, formaldehyde cannon. All right, you absolutely know that the two sanity for you, Sylvia, and for Billy. So, can I do that? I can do that probably. Oh, look, I can. Oh, brilliant. I can't do maths, however, but that's all right. All right, there you go. I've reduced the sanity on the character. Yeah, so you hear all of these phrases at once that you've heard already. The old ones were, the old ones are, the old ones shall be. Yog-Sothoth knows the gate. Yog-Sothoth is the gate. Yog-Sothoth is the key and the guardian of the gate. At that moment, Billy again lost, and if you've loaded the last barrel of formaldehyde, as Sylvia, you kind of hear this scream in your head and lose a little bit more sanity. Billy also suddenly pushes the submersible back down towards Yog-Sothoth.
Do I have the wherewithal to kind of load the final canister?
No, that was the loaded one. I think there's a couple floating. How many times did you miss, Geoffrey? Twice. So there's two canisters floating that you could try and catch, and crush if you wanted to. This
as we sink down.
Yeah, this form is shrinking because obviously the concentration of formaldehyde is really creating like a barrier which it's fighting against, but it's losing that battle. So the last tentacle comes off the craft, but at that point is when Billy is essentially steering you back downwards. What do you do?
I'm gonna crush the last two canisters, I suppose. Yeah, is that something I can do?
Yep. That's something you can do. You're basically gonna try and grab them and crush them.
Yeah.
Yep. Just unarmed strike, I think.
I'm gonna go down to my knees and put my hands on the glass and invite Yog-Sothoth in. Like I want to draw them in, whatever it is, to me, because I know that the's more concentration of the formaldehyde between.
Oh, give me! How am I going to trick?
Isn't there a skill called Convince Yog-Sothoth?
Yeah, there will be soon. It's kind of a combination, isn't it? It's kind of a psychology roll.
I mean, isn't it more that we've been resisting? And now it's more like relenting, like allowing.
Yeah, but it's more the fact that this is a deception. So it's almost a.
But I don't think it is a deception in the sense that it's us, isn't it? Just Derek letting go of his sanity in order to be able to give in to the thing. So it's not so much a trick. It's more like, okay, you win, and release your last grips on sanity.
He's doing it to get Yog-Sothoth into the formaldehyde.
Yeah, but in order to do that, wouldn't you have to give in to the sanity of the?
So hang on. So what you're saying is this is a real giving in, and if it fails, you've given in. If it succeeds, it'll
succeed. It's just whether or not Derek comes out of it with his sanity intact. You know what I mean? Like it's that kind of angle rather than like the ultimate ruse. In order to do it, you have to succumb to the madness to get back out again. Derek, so tell me if that's something that
on myself to be able to find my way back.
Yeah. So the journey is not the succumbing, but it's the way out again.
Return.
So, I mean, this is a modern game today. So, in terms of all Cthulhu settings for the recovery of sanity loss, we're in the best possible time. It's not like Cthulhu Dark Ages or Cthulhu Invictus or even 1920s. It's not like you're going to get shock therapy. It's like, oh no, we got the whole suite of drugs and therapies, and we can get you back. We can bring you. There's a thread.
Well, it's whether or not Yog-Sothoth wants to relinquish.
I don't have a sanity roll for Yog-Sothoth. What am I going to roll?
Yeah, Derek opens himself up to Yog-Sothoth, and Yog-Sothoth goes mad and just starts.
That's right. Starts collecting doilies or something. That's right.
Yeah.
becomes children's bubbles in the playground.
That's when you know you've truly won, when you can send an outer god mad, an elder god mad.
Yeah. We pop him like a zit.
Yeah. But in fact, Azeroth is just like, yeah, it worked for me. I'm the idiot god dreaming here. Okay. I don't know. Roll.
I think it's a sanity roll, isn't it?
I think it is a sanity roll. I'm warring with myself as to which one it is. Yeah, give me a sanity roll.
Or you could do a willpower. If you wanted to go.
Oh, okay. Where's willpower? Is that power? Just
like
power? Hard success. Yeah, no, we'll do sanity. Yeah, absolutely. And you see the remaining globes that are diminished, that they gather themselves into one, and they stream forward. They're coming for you, and their black evil is flowing so fast towards you, Sylvia, and your hands are on the glass, and you're welcoming this god in, and this god's coming for you. Geoffrey, there is one barrel left that you missed.
Yes.
Your last fail.
That's right. Yep.
You also stare down the fact that there's this malignant mass of globes and their anthrax blackness flying towards the vessel that is just being brought under control. Garrett, there's nothing else here. You've used all your formaldehyde up. Geoffrey, before you can make your unarmed strike.
I'm going to launch any anthrax samples that we've got, because this thing seems to be drawn towards anthrax.
Okay,
if
cool.
Any samples like that, I'll send them out.
Nice. Yep, excellent. You've got several. Geoffrey, I'm going to need to make a sanity roll, because this vision of these bubbles flowing towards you is mesmerizing, and part of you wants to join. You make it.
I'm focused now.
Part of you wants you to join Sylvia with your hands against the glass.
I'm focused on the tactical situation.
Okay, cool.
Much more happy ground.
Make an unarmed strike then, and Billy blitzes it.
Hey!
Okay, Billy's fine. And Geoffrey Bruce. Yeah, so this, and suddenly what you see is not a creature in the distance. Suddenly these globes come towards you, and they are like planets. They are enormous. Like a single bubble is larger than you could possibly have imagined, and they're coming straight towards you, and it's like the universe and your minuscule nature in it is all of a sudden. And at that moment is when you release your anthrax samples, and when you crush the last barrel of formaldehyde, and it's like that's the level that it couldn't cope with, and this 10th barrel of formaldehyde creates a concentration of formaldehyde that essentially evaporates it. So it sort of comes barreling in, and it hits this wall of formaldehyde, and suddenly all this black evil anthrax that it's been gathering to itself from all around the world. And you've seen how the anthrax has been drawn into this one spot at the bottom of Lake Baikal. Suddenly it all comes in, and then suddenly it meets its match in this formaldehyde, and suddenly all these bubbles become transparent, and some pop and others just begin to fall back down into the depth and into the darkness, and you see it disappearing back to the depths of Lake Baikal. And as it goes, you hear these whispers dying in their volume. Yog-Sothoth is the key to the gate, whereby the spheres meet. Man rules now where they ruled once. They shall soon rule where man rules now. And then it's silence. Eerie silence.
Except for Sylvia. Who is now
Yog-Sothoth, please
come back
to me, my baby.
Sylvia is got her head down, and her body is racking, and then you realize that she's laughing, and then you realize that
hysterically,
then she's crying, and eventually she kind of collapses on the floor and doesn't move
in a gibbering Yog-Sothoth mess.
Yeah.
The wind gibbers their voices, and the earth mutters their consciousness. Billy starts to bring you up, and you start to come up until there's light, and you can see the light above, and it's like the ice has melted on top of the lake, coming up through the beautifully clear water. You get the sense. Give me a science roll, please, Garrett.
Sus.
You understand because of depth, the lake and the thing like viscosity. Correct me if I'm wrong, scientist. Essentially, you've created a film, like a layer of formaldehyde. So essentially, there will be a layer of formaldehyde, but there will be pure water above. There will be pure water below, but there's a layer of formaldehyde that is essentially a block that, if any malignant anthrax-powered creature ever tries to break through, there's going to be a barrier. It might require a multi-billionaire funded society to maintain that the formaldehyde layer is maintained forever.
Well, I think we've got to get Aaron and rescue Aaron from I think that's probably our first thing that we'd need to do is try and get him back. I mean,
all right. Well, in Langley, in the headquarters of the CIA, there is a wall which is made of Alabama marble.
Oh, I thought you were saying formaldehyde.
Alabama marble. On that wall, there are 140 stars. Each one of the stars representing a member of the POO, the paramilitary operations officers, who have lost their lives in the service of their country and the world. Inexplicably, a 141st star has appeared on that wall, but at precisely the same moment as that happens, in Taliesin, on the other side of the US, the former USSR. So it's thousands of kilometers away from where you are. The Deep Space Taliesin telescope, the RT-64, gets a message. Now, these were built in the 1950s to find messages from outer space, and they haven't found anything. And suddenly it hears Aaron Lincoln's voice going, "Hello? Where are we? Oh, I hope I'm streaming this." And so the mystery of what happened to Aaron will have to wait for another adventurer.
Oh.
Wow.
I don't think it's quite so sad ending. It's more that he's out there, but you don't know where. Somewhere in deep space, somehow, wherever he went, he was transported somewhere far away. There you have it, gentlemen.
Amazing. Thank you, Barry.
Survived Vosrozdenia, Rebirth Island. Thank you to
so much about my planet that I really didn't need to know.
Is all the anthrax now sucked into the bottom of Lake Baikal and now won't harm anyone else ever again?
Well, you might have destroyed a fair amount of it. There probably is some still at the bottom of Lake Baikal, but you certainly
but it's all there.
Wasted a lot
thanks
of
to
it.
Global warming, we'll see it slowly start to rise, and then
Well, or they'd be like, right now we've got this permanent structure that needs to stay in place no matter who's in political power to make sure that
I'm sure that'll happen. Yeah.
Someone will come to power and go, that we don't need that anymore. Budget cuts, nah. Oh, I know what I'll do. Someone like Sylvia will be like, I'm just gonna dilute the formaldehyde just a little bit. They will never notice. They'll never notice that it's not quite as much formaldehyde as they were paying for before. I'll just, skim a little bit off the top. And these little bubbles malignant spheres get sent up from the bottom of Lake Baikal every now and then. They're probing the formaldehyde layer, and like a single sphere comes up and disappears and then pops like a bubble until it doesn't. And who knows how long it will be until you'll need to defeat Yog-Sothoth again.
Thank you, Murray. That was awesome.
No, I mean, Yog-Sothoth has replaced Billy in the love interest.
Oh wow, That's the real change in the game. That's the real takeaway.
That's a hell of a character arc.
Is that because Billy got disfigured by the slap and he's no
it's because Billy
handsome as he was?
No, it's because Billy gave her the withering look when she fired the harpoon.
Yeah. Burnt that bridge.
One judgmental look. Absolutely.
Thank you everyone for watching, and check out Quest Portal and its amazing website. And thank you Quest Portal for letting us run the game. Thank you, Murray.
Run the game. Amazing. Absolutely great fun. And look forward to the next one. And thank you, Syrinscape, for all those sounds and epicness. Yay. And we'll see you again soon.
Bye.
Bye.